Thank you. That is exactly right, Seven.
Hey guys, so welcome back to 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. We've reached the climax of sorts. We found out the identity of Zero. It's Santa, according to this little calculation here, even though door 4 is actually written twice. I actually noticed as I was editing the last episode. Anyway, let's carry on. He's taken June hostage and he's gone out the 9 door with Ace and Lotus in tow as well, so we need to chase after him.
Santa's true number wasn't 3. It was 0.
Yes.
No way. Santa is 0?
And kinda, when you think back, remember when we said that Zero's a monkey, he started bursting out laughing?
And June was 9, not 6.
But what about the 9th man, right? Well, what was he then?
Conversely, Santa was 0, not 3.
And that O was 6.
Plus 3 and minus 3, they cancel one another out. Nothing appears out of order.
Santa was still playing by the rules of the Nonary Game this whole time.
Yep.
Precisely.
So you're saying Santa planned this whole thing?
Why? He could have just, like, made his bracelet a wild card of sort, right? That could be whatever he needed it to be, but he made it so that he has to take June.
I'm not sure if he acted alone or not, but I think it is safe to conclude that he is 0.
I mean, makes sense, right? He participated in the Nonary Games 9 years ago. He has a motive.
If my hypothesis is correct.
And whoever set this up has to have known what the Nonary Game was, right? Otherwise they couldn't base this whole game on it.
Snake's hypothesis. Something doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
June's bracelet being flipped.
What about the 9th man, then? What was his bracelet number? It was 9 as well, because that opened the door.
Even if that were possible, that would mean there are 2 number 9 bracelets.
Exactly.
And if that's the case?
All right, that's enough talking. Let's go. It's high time we went through that door.
Yeah, we're kind of running out of time. Don't have much time to debate this all. There we go.
It's right there.
That's good. Didn't have to sprint this time. Jeez, did you see how pale Snake's hand was?
All right, let's keep going.
Like deathly white.
I think these stairs go to the bottom deck.
Right. And I've got the Uranus keycard,
Looks dry.
Let's head down.
which is where I'm going to use it, right? Because it says bottom
Hey,
deck on
it's
the
a-
keycard. Oh, shit.
This is the Neptune symbol. There must be a key around here somewhere.
Where?
Neptune key.
Don't think I've got that one, do I?
I only have the Uranus key card.
Exactly.
It's a different planet. Plus, it's the wrong kind of key.
Is there a Pluto key?
Let's turn around and go back for now.
Yeah. Hey, another door.
Okay, good.
And
There
a
we
card
go.
reader this time.
It's the Uranus symbol.
This is the place.
Yeah. Cool. So, let me just think back. There's nothing... Oh,
Wow!
okay, that was a bad time to start thinking. What is this, a library? The Forest of Knowledge!
It's totally full of books!
There's so many. I don't know where to look.
All right, if we want to get through that door out there, we need the Neptune key.
It's gotta be in this room.
I say we split up and look for it.
I was about to say, though, every door we've gone through has had something we needed. But was there ever anything in door 2 that we needed? Just the Jupiter key, wasn't it?
Okay.
But we don't need that anymore, do we?
Very well.
Sure thing.
Good. Let's get started then. We don't have a lot of time. Hurry.
Okay. Oh, we're onto the novels. Yeah, there we go. Alice sleeps in a small chamber, past the Forest of Knowledge. As he began his search, for reasons he didn't fully understand, Junpei felt those particular words float through his mind. Right. We're getting close to figuring out the mystery behind this entire thing. But what does Alice have to do with this, you know? Okay. I have no idea. I'm just following the adventure that 999 is taking me on. Okay. Got a bunch of books. What's that, a safe up there, or is that something else? This book is called, Mind Swap. Sorry if I sound a bit weird, I'm sick. You mean you could, like, change bodies with someone? Well, I guess I wouldn't mind switching bodies with my brother or Junpei too much, but I'd rather die than let Seven switch with me. What the hell? Like, I'd even want to swap bodies with a little brat like... Hey, were you just imagining it? You were! Shut up. Yeah, well, he wasn't the only one. Great. Teletemporation and telepathy. What the hell is this one about? Well, I know what telepathy is, but I've never heard of teletemporation. It sounds something to do with time. Yeah. It refers to having the ability to travel through time. Temporal, that's all I know. This one says, the golden rabbit and the moon on it. Does that mean it's about a rabbit that lives on the moon? Rabbits are pretty cute, but what's the moon stuff about? It's talking about the Judas tree that is said to grow on the moon, according to Chinese legend. Cool. Kitab al-Asif. Man, they've got some weird stuff here. I can't even pronounce this one. Who's that? Some famous guy? It's not a person's name. It's the name of a fictional book created by Abdul al-Hazred. It's said to be one of the sources used in the creation of the legendary Book of the Dead, the Necronomicon. Oh, yeah, Snake, sure. So these are all occult books and stuff. I don't know how you know all this. Jeez. Especially since you're blind, right? Like, you have to read a lot of books in Braille. There's a note on that table. Lights to the books. Huh? What does that mean? Interesting. Well, intelligence often hides itself in darkness. Have you ever thought about the pages of a book? Each page only sees, what? Maybe 2 or 3 minutes of light before the reader is on to the next. They spend the rest of their lives locked in darkness. Rather like myself. I've never thought of it that way. Gosh, that's horrible. You know what, Snake? I need to maybe open my mind a little bit. This guy obviously has like high perception of things, even though he's blind. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. Not at all. I live in the darkness, yes, but that has gifted me with the ability to catch the truths others might miss. I can hear the voices hidden in the darkness, you might say. Yeah, I can imagine. When you're blind, your other senses are heightened, right? You have to learn to rely on other things. Looks like this shelf is a little bit empty. Ernal Peo Nedb of... What's the deal with these titles? They're all just gibberish. Hey, what if we, like, switch them around? Switch them around? Yeah. If we move them around, maybe they'll spell something. Oh, I get it. Yeah. Heck, it's worth a shot. Okay, let's do this. What are we gonna get? Peon? Nope. Here. Open here. Find bulb. There we go. How about this? Looks like putting these books in the right order opened this thing right up. That was a piece of cake. Hooray! You did it, Junpei! I prefer Happy Clover to Psycho. I guess that turned out well enough. So the letters from the title spell out, open here, find bulb. Powerful light bulb. There we go. Apparently we have to shine a light on something, right? That's the bulb itself. I can go back. Well, it's technically not there anymore. It's down here. What? Dadkind? What the hell is this? Wasn't that a German mathematician? Maybe it's a compilation of his work. Owen, huh? Owen isn't enough to go on. Perhaps it's about the English Revolutionary? Pff, maybe. Sheldrake. Sheldrake. Isn't Sheldrake... I don't know. Libernus? This book is in German. It looks like it's the complete works of something. I've never heard of it. Well, if Snake doesn't know what it is, I don't think we'll ever know. I know, right? Okay, we might have to come back to that. It's over here. Combination lock. In the middle of the glass door is a cylinder lock. I know. You know. The kind of lock where you rotate the numbers around until you've got the right ones to open it. What the hell is this? It's like they just gave us the answer. Guess I might as well give it a shot. What? Okay. There's no answer. Oh, unless you're talking about this. 2, 3... What is that, an 8? I can barely see. There are a couple of books on the glass shelf. From left to right, they say Volume 6, Volume 3, Volume 2, Volume 4, Volume 1, Volume 5. 632415. No way it's that easy. 632415. Really? You did it, Junpei! Yay! I don't know why, but I don't really feel particularly happy about being praised for that. Whatever. At least the lock's open now. Let's see if we can get it open, alright? Okay. It was that easy. Usually when things are too good to be true, there isn't a lock there anymore. Okay, I want to open it, man. Another bulb. Powerful light bulb. All 6 books seem to be pointing at the cylinder number lock. Well, not anymore. Okay, so we need 3 bulbs. There are 3 lights on this thing. They aren't very bright, though. Hey, didn't we find some kind of really powerful light bulb earlier? Why don't you put it into one of those lights? Yeah, well, it'll get a lot brighter, but if there are 3 lights, that means 3 light bulbs. There won't be much point unless we can replace all 3 bulbs. We need 3 light bulbs, huh? Okay, well, we've got 2 of them. Where are we going to find the 3rd one? It's over here. This big opening is the door to the library. It's pretty impressive. Almost looks like a door to a shrine or a church or something. There's another door after it, and then a passageway beyond that. At the end of that passageway is a door with that Neptune symbol engraved on it. Hurry up, we need to find the key with the mark of Neptune. Okay, this sounds like a job for the best brother and sister team in the world. Man, it's like 7 and 9 don't even exist. Man, I didn't even realize we were going to be doing another room. This book is called Teletemporation Telepathy, where you looked at that. I thought I looked over here. What's that one called? It says Foundations of DNA and Genetic Engineering. Automated robotic assembly line techniques? Huh? Really? On the Gigantic? A ship from 1912? What's that? Some sort of comic book? Geez, I guess boys really like that stuff, huh? No, you're thinking of a different sort of robot. This book is talking about automated machinery that's used to build things like cars. Communication and computer science, huh? That's a pretty generic title. To be honest, it's so vague I don't really know what it might be about. Yeah, I know. An overview of photochemistry. I think whoever set this up wanted us to see the cover, not the spine. Let's look at it, okay? Huh, looks like there's a whole lot of space behind these books. Look, Junpei! I think there's something hidden behind the books. Okay, there you go. 3rd light bulb. Done. Was it really that easy? The stairs that go down to the bottom floor are on the other side of that junction. Okay, let's go. Down. Turn. There are dim lights on the floor. The dim lights are set at 3 points across the floor. Alright, so there are 3 lights in here. I'm going to change these bulbs. Now they should... Whoa. Those light bulbs really make a difference. It's pretty bright in here now. Wow, it's so bright now. It's almost blinding. Alright, that means we just have to do this. Do what? It's really bright in here. It's a small enclosure with 9 sides. There are 3 of these things that kind of look like music stands. Am I supposed to put something on those stands? Right. Is that where these books come in? This book says Owen on it. It's like blue. This red book says Dad Kind on it. Okay, not those just yet, I guess. This iron plate is bolted down. I don't think it's a door. I think it's just a wall. There's a note on top of the table. It says lights to the books. A lot of books here. Paleontology. This one's about fossils, right? Ammonites are pretty nasty looking. Okay, I got another book here. The Theory of Evolution. Heck, even I know this one. This is that Darwin guy, right? Well, yes and no. Charles Darwin wrote a book called On the Origin of the Species. In it, he put forth his theory of evolution. Yeah, I remember that part. He called it natural selection. Exactly. Okay, cool. Theories of the Cambrian explosion. Did a bomb go off near somewhere called Cambria? Wrong kind of explosion. Roughly 500 million years ago, during what is known as the Cambrian period, research suggests that the variety of living organisms increased by an order of magnitude. Why that happened is, however, still something of a mystery. There are a number of theories. This book is most likely a collection of them. How do you know so much, dude? Introduction to geology, huh? Thinking about the Earth, even when you're on the ocean. Kinda romantic in a way, I guess. This one says transition of extinct species. We need to hurry it up, or we're going to end up in the pages of a book like that. Why did mankind lose their tails? Junpei, do you know what this one's about? Why are you asking me? I didn't even know we had tails to lose. Maybe you should ask a human with a tail. Mankind's ancestors most likely lost their tails, as they were no longer useful and the nutrients required to grow them were better to put to use elsewhere. At least, that's what I read. I was rather young. I may have remembered it incorrectly. Huh? Why the hell would a kid be reading a book like that? Well, I know Saiyans have tails, right? And if we dropped tails off because they weren't useful, why do we still have our wisdom teeth? Looks like these books are all on evolution and stuff. They've got titles like Why Did Mankind Lose Their Tails? Creatures of the South Seas, huh? I wonder if this one's got pictures of colourful fish and stuff. I've looked at them all, right? This book's pretty old. Extinct Species, Mother Nature. Is that some sort of book about hippie chicks? Probably not. Except perhaps tangentially. It's most likely about environmental protection. I was just trying to make a joke. Dude, hippie chicks? Really? Okay, nothing there. Energy theory, huh? I don't even understand the damn title. Looks like this shelf's all science and technology. Okay, this one? This bookshelf's full of occult stuff. Honestly, I don't know which shelves I've looked at and which ones I haven't. What's a picture book like that doing here? It looks like it's about Little League? It does seem a little weird that it's so different from the others, huh? Maybe you ought to take it with you. Book. There's a baseball on this one. Come on, Junpei, let's see what's in it. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's probably baseball stuff. Whoa! Pop-up book. Head. This is one of those pop-up books, isn't it? It says H-E-A-D. Head. You mean like where my brain is? Okay. So we need to find those books. That kind of stuck out a little bit, but I can barely tell. Okay, let's keep looking. Nothing particularly outstanding. This one, maybe? Nope. Nothing here. Isn't that what I just looked at? Damn, man, this is so confusing. Everything looks the same. Full of books. Energy theory, development of nanotechnology, materials, interactions between shortwave energy and matter. What else have we got? Just listening to you read those titles is giving me a headache. Can't say fancy technology stuff and I get along real well. Keep on talking about that stuff and you're gonna put me to sleep. Okay, sorry. There we go, there's another one. Hey, it's another one of those kids' picture books. Looks like a lot like the other one we found. Okay, Cowboys and Indians. This one has some Native Americans on the cover. Hey, Junpei, take a look at this one. Native Americans, huh? Maybe it's got some... Whoa! What's this one? L-I-L-K. Guess it's one of them pop-up book, right? Got the letters L, R, and K popping out of it. Can't make any sense out of them, though. Large, round, and kinky? Nah, probably not. Okay. What? Is that an R? Oh, I suppose if you look at it at the right angle, it would be. Is it? I don't even bloody know. Okay, let's back off. Nothing there. Black hole hypothesis. Gamma ray astrophysics. I guess this bookshelf has an astronomy theme. Guess so. Nothing here. Maybe downstairs. Some more books here. That's a weird book, Junpei. Indian mathematics. Haha, that's funny. Why is that funny? It says Riemann hypothesis. She's very excited. What is there to hypothesize about with a Riemann? Isn't it pretty straightforward? Heavens no. There are many factors. Length, girth, lubrication, or lack of. It's an exciting and rapidly growing field. Whoa. Okay. Algebraic number theory? Math, huh? There's another one like that over here. You mean something like primary number theory, or analytical number theory, or geometry? Oh my gosh, how did you know? Nobody said anything about those. Well, number theory is usually split into 4 chief disciplines. If there was a book named Algebraic Number Theory, I took a wild guess that the other 3 would be there as well. Looks like I was right. Okay, smarty pants. There are books here in all sorts of languages. I can't read them. Nothing over there. Let's see what we've got here. So many books here. I wonder what this one's... Whoa, what's this? Warm? Oh? Sorry. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Hey, what's the deal with this sappy stuff? I don't even know what the hell happened. Bunch of books on folklore and myth. Here we go. Hey, there's another one of those picture books here. Something about these things feels kind of nice, you know. Brings back good memories. I guess even people like 7 were kids once. No shit, you little brat. Hey guys, cool it. Alright, I think I'm gonna take this picture book with me. Tales of Old Japan. It's got a magic wand on it? Okay. So, what's inside? Well, aren't you going to open it? Pretty sure it's just gonna have pages inside. Smart out. Whoa! Surely, you know by now, right? SE5? Looks like another pop-up book. This book has an SE dash and a number 5 sticking out of it. I might be impressed if I was 5. You are 5. It's on your bracelet number. Anyway, it's a small enclosure with 9 sides. There are 3 of these things that kind of look like music stands. Okay, how about we try putting these picture books on the stands? Then, Shield Rake 5. Awesome! It looks like it worked! Way to go, Junpei. Good job, buddy. There's something projecting on the bottom. These letters. They seem familiar.
Sheldrake 5?
Oh, Sheldrake 5. Sorry, it's one of the books.
I think I saw the rest of this collection somewhere.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere around here.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Sheldrake.
Have you heard of him? Sheldrake, I mean.
Yeah, Lotus told me about him.
Did she?
There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory.
Feels like 10 years ago.
Morphogenetic fields, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
Here we go again. Morphogenetic fields.
Really? From Lotus, huh?
You seem surprised.
Well, Clover also said something to me about that stuff.
She did?
Yeah, what was it?
The ability to access a morphogenetic field is affected by a couple of things.
Everyone just knows a lot about morphogenetic
The
fields.
first is epiphany, and the other is danger.
Mind you, a lot of these guys are connected to the first Nonary Games, so makes sense, right?
That girl. I told her not to tell anyone.
You did? Why?
Well,
Look, man, I didn't push it because we're in a hurry, but I'm kind of sick of this. How about you just tell me, okay?
Please, I deserve an explanation after all I've been through, please.
tell you what?
Don't give me that. About the experiment.
Very well, fine. I'll tell you everything.
Thank you.
But not here.
Ah.
Let's move to the top floor.
Okay. Will you tell me now?
I
push me down the
suppose I might
stairs.
as well start by telling you why I kept quiet, and why I made sure Clover did as well. To be honest, the explanation is quite simple.
Okay, go on.
Zero told me not to. I had little choice.
Really?
He didn't walk up and tell me, of course. He gave me a message engraved on a card.
That's
Braille.
a Braille card.
You had another one of these?
It looks just like the one you showed us earlier. So you had 2 cards.
No, only one.
Then?
Huh? What do you mean?
Did you make up the other thing then?
I thought that card just had some rules for the Nonary game on it.
Yes, it did. And those were the rules I read you.
But there's more to it than just the rules.
However,
Or there was a specific rule just for you or something.
they were not the only thing on the card. There was something I didn't read. Well, perhaps I should say there was something I couldn't read.
Okay.
And that was?
Tell no one of the events that took place 9 years ago. Tell, and I activate your sister's detonator.
Oh, jeez.
It's a threat on our lives.
Oh. Well,
Well, you told me now. I guess it's fine, because we know, or we think, that Santa is Zero. Is that really the case?
well, what about Clover? Did she get a message from Zero too?
I don't believe she did. But doesn't it strike you as strange that Zero would shut my mouth, but not hers?
yeah.
Yeah.
To be on the safe side, however, I told her it was best not to tell anyone. Still, apparently she told you. That girl.
What's wrong with her telling me? I figured some stuff out with the things she told me.
Yeah, and I'm trustworthy. I'm not a murderer, like some people in this game.
I mean, it looks like the whole activate her detonator thing was just a bluff. She's prancing around downstairs happy as a clam now that you're back.
Yeah.
That's very true. I've decided I can trust you.
Oh, thank you.
I've decided to tell you the truth.
Okay,
The chance that Santa is 0 is very high.
but not certain.
I feel I can assume Santa doesn't have the time to observe us at the moment.
I'm still pondering. There's 2 9 bracelets.
And at any rate, even if he were, I very much doubt he would kill us.
Are you sure about that?
Why?
Clover told me about the 4-leaf clover, about the words. If he knew about that, then he was in my group during the first experiment. I'm sure of it. He wouldn't kill us,
Are you sure?
no matter what the situation was.
Then why didn't we charge at him when he had the gun held up to June? What do you mean, you specifically?
Hey, Snake?
Because he threatened you and your sister.
Yes, I know. You want to know what happened during the experiment.
Please, pretty please?
Yeah.
How much do you know?
Clover told me about...
I see.
The girl who died.
The morphogenetic field in the experiments 9 years prior. How the experiments had taken place simultaneously at 2 locations, one being the ship and the other being a building in Nevada.
Yes, and you were on the ship. She was in Nevada.
And the girl that died during the experiment. She told you all that, did she? At any rate, I now know how much you've learned. All that remains for us to determine...
is who did this and why, right?
Yes.
Can you tell me what happened?
Yes. The people who organized the initial experiment were from a company called Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
Right, Junpei doesn't know this right now, but we know this because of the safe ending that we got.
There were 4 of them running the show. Gentaro Hongo,
That is Ace, right?
Nagisa Nijisaki,
Unfortunately, I don't know the rest.
Teruaki Kubota, Kagechika Musashido. Hongo was the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals.
There you go, that's Ace. A younger version of him, 9 years ago.
Nijisaki was his right-hand man, and did the lion's share of the planning.
I wonder.
Kubota led the company's research and development division. Musashido was their majority stockholder.
Could this guy be the captain? The one who died on the bridge? Who had the O bracelet? Which means maybe one of these guys was Guy X. Potentially.
It was these 4 people who planned the initial experiment.
I wonder.
Let me simplify it for you. Hongo designed it, and Nijisaki put it all together. Kubota developed the technology required, and Musashido provided the cash.
Huh, so it's Hongo, Nijisaki, Kubota, Musashido...
Of course, more than 4 people were required to conduct an experiment of this scale.
But these are the masterminds behind it.
To that end, they organized a top-secret team to assist them with their research. All in all, they gathered 10 people or so. Those 10 completed their team, and they were able to begin the project. They named it the Nonary Project. The purpose of the experiment was to research the prospect of controlling a human mind through sheer will. The vessel, I suppose you could say, for this control was the morphogenetic field.
Why would a pharmaceutical company be interested in this?
Huh.
Why did the glycerin suddenly begin to crystallize? Why did the crystal structure of EDT undergo a sudden change? Why did the rats improve their puzzle-solving skills with each generation?
Because they were communicating with each other. We don't know about the rats in this flow, though, do we?
Experiments with humans produce the same results. The more people who knew the answer to a question, the more there were who could answer correctly without having seen the problem before. Why is that? How could it happen?
It's such an interesting concept. The more we educate the human race, the more we'll be able to know subconsciously when presented with problems we haven't seen before?
The answer is that the shape of the answer has been stored in a field invisible to the naked eye. And through that field, the resonant event transmits information related to that answer. That's essentially the idea behind morphogenetic fields.
But that's just a theory.
Can't bring yourself to believe it?
Yeah.
Let's say someone killed another person because the devil told them to do it.
Okay.
Whether the devil exists or not has no relevance to the murder. They believe the devil exists. Whether or not he does is immaterial.
Okay.
So what matters here is that Hongo believed in the morphogenetic field.
And that's why this experiment took place.
That's right.
But I still don't get it. You said they wanted to figure out how to control people, right? That is what you were saying.
Yes.
So how are they going to do that with a morphogenetic field?
I'll keep it simple. Let's suppose 10,000 people have solved a certain problem.
Yes.
The chance of you knowing that answer, even if no one has told you, will go up.
If we go by this theory, yes.
Let's have another example, shall we? Say 1 million people were to do a handstand right now.
I'd be more inclined to do a handstand.
Tomorrow, the chances of you doing a handstand would be higher, even if you had heard nothing of this hypothetical mass handstanding.
Right, okay.
Mankind's thought process and actions are all part of a resonant event.
So we're all sort of loosely linked to a gigantic hive mind.
All of the resonant events encoded in the fields are projected onto you. Of course, this assumes you believe in this theory. Do you follow so far?
Yeah.
Now, if there was a person who had the same effect as those millions of people, what would happen? If
They
that
would
one
control-
person were to do a handstand, other people would find themselves wanting to do handstands as well.
And they become a sort of puppet master of sorts.
Can you imagine what a person with powers like that would be able to do?
Control people.
Come on, there's no way.
I'm not done. Imagine another scenario. Imagine another person. This is an ordinary person. Let's say he does a handstand.
Yeah.
What if there was someone who could grab the resonant event he created by doing that and use it to make other people do handstands? What would happen then? A person who has the power to write to the field, and someone who can read from the same. You could think of them as the writer and the reader, or the transmitter and the receiver. What would the world be like if there were people with abilities like these?
Is there a bit of telepathy going on, I guess?
So the transmitter's resonant event can be transmitted through the field and sent to the receiver. And then the transmitter can control the receiver however they wish.
Right. So it becomes like mind control. It is a bit of telepathy.
That's what you're saying, right?
Yes, close enough at least.
Come on, that's just crazy.
I wish I wasn't so sick I could be able to think about this a lot more.
Well, if you want to prove that, then you'll have to test it first.
Test it?
At least, that was how they thought.
Right, of course.
That was why they decided to do their experiment. That was how the Nonary project began. By the way, Junpei,
Yes.
have you ever heard of the Gansfeld experiment?
Isn't that one of the books down there?
Yeah, that was an experiment in telepathy, right? You place a pair of subjects in separate rooms. Then you show one a picture and ask the other what they see.
Interesting. I'm impressed. Yes, that is exactly correct.
Wasn't that from Lotus as well?
So, why did you bring up the Gansfeld experiment?
It was used to screen subjects for the Nonary project. The hospital in a remote town was affiliated with Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo used it to conduct experiments on visiting children in secret.
Great.
Some of them, he found, had potential. He began to gather children that showed promise. Children that seemed as though they might be able to access the field. Of course, none of them volunteered. They were kidnapped.
Yeah. We learned that from Seven's testimony.
There were 9 pairs of siblings taken, for 18 children total. For reasons that were not fully understood at the time, each pair had 1 transmitter and 1 receiver.
And if they're talking about siblings, then Santa's sister was involved.
They were split perfectly. As such, the 18 children were split into 2 groups of 9. The children who were put into Group Q were the ones who excelled at transmitting. They were transferred to the mock experiment building known as Building Q in the Nevada desert.
Right. So you're a receiver. And so was Santa.
The children who excelled at receiving were put in Group A.
Which means Santa's sister would not have died on the ship, she would have died in the building in Nevada.
Group A was then placed on the former hospital ship Gigantic. From the experiments he had conducted so far, Hongo had learned the following. There are two things that can increase one's resonance with the fields. The first is epiphany. The other is danger.
Right.
Have you ever been faced with an especially difficult problem and thought about it very long and very hard until finally an answer suddenly appeared in your mind?
An epiphany.
It may seem obvious to say so, but that is what is meant by epiphany.
Yes.
The information obtained through that epiphany can be easily transmitted through the fields, where it can be easily interpreted.
Sorry if I'm not talking so much, I'm just trying to digest all of this information.
Adding danger to that equation allows for even easier field
And
access.
when you combine it, you sort of boost your signal.
That's where Hongo came in. They set up a number of puzzles across the Gigantic. The participants had to solve each one before they could move to the next room. Of course, he hadn't forgotten to include danger. He had detonated a bomb on the hull of the Gigantic. The children in Group A were forced to play the Nonary Game as the ship sunk.
Great.
By forcing the children into a life-or-death situation, Hongo hoped to increase the likelihood of their tapping into the fields.
But there was no bomb detonated in this Nonary Game, right? It's a controlled flooding.
The children from Group Q, on the other hand, were confined to the mock experiment building, Building Q. Building Q duplicated the interior and puzzles of the Gigantic exactly. Every detail was exactly the same.
Even the danger?
Hongo explained the situation to the children in Group Q. Solve the puzzles you find throughout the rooms. When you have the answers, transmit that information to the children in Group A. If you succeed, they will be able to solve the puzzles and escape.
So Group A was not able to solve the puzzles without Group Q's help?
But if you fail, then the Gigantic will sink, and your brothers and sisters will drown. Those were his orders.
Well, clearly Group A survived. We've got Snake and we've got Santa.
Do you know why the astronauts of Apollo 13 were able to return to Earth safely? It was because NASA had access to a replica of the Apollo 13 capsule.
Really?
All of the equipment, the instruments, everything. All of it identical. Everything was just like the real Apollo 13. NASA was able to replicate the situation the astronauts found themselves in. By putting themselves in the same situation, they attempted to solve the problems the astronauts were dealing with.
I mean, that's a common way of trying to solve problems, right? Or especially, like, practical ones like that.
Once they found solutions, they reported their findings to the men aboard the actual capsule.
You, like, simulate an event and see if you can solve it on your end, because you're putting different minds together, and, of course, when you're in the simulation, you're not in any real danger, so you can think more clearly.
That was how they were able to return safely. It was the same with the Gigantic in Building Q. The children from Group Q had to use the power of epiphany to solve the puzzles they found, and transmit what they learned through the fields.
But they weren't in any danger, were they? Just their brothers and sisters.
The children in Group A, however,
They had to suffer through danger to access the fields.
they had to access the fields to learn how they might advance to the next stage. That is the simplest explanation I can manage.
I mean, you did well, Snake. I kind of follow.
Huh.
And, that's always a good thing.
Hey, Junpei, Snake! How much longer are you two gonna sit around on those bony asses?
Sorry, I'm just learning.
Get down here already!
He's right. Let's go, shall we? We don't have much time. We need to get out of here, and soon.
Yeah.
Hold it. There's one more thing I want to ask you. Are you sure that there were 18 kids?
Why?
Well, I thought it was only 16.
Oh, yes. That was what they said on the news, wasn't it?
Right.
Yes. I have no doubt that 18 children were abducted and used in Hongo's experiment.
So 2 are unaccounted for.
After all, you couldn't exactly play a Nonary game with any less, could you?
Lotus said she has more than one child, right? Did she?
Well, yeah, but Are you saying that the news got it wrong?
I can't remember now.
Yes, I am. There were 2 more children. However, they had no relatives that I'm aware of. I imagine no one filed a police report when they went missing.
Right.
They were brother and sister, like Clover and I. The brother's name was Aoi.
That's a name that Sivan said.
The sister's name was... Her name was... Her name was Akane.
What?
That was the girl who died.
Excuse me? It's okay. More than one person can have the name, right?
Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago?
People can have the same name, right? Well, you didn't hear the surname, right? Right?
Then, who is June? No. That's impossible.
What?
It can't be true. Akane isn't that uncommon of a name.
Yeah, exactly, right? Totally.
If Snake had known her last name, that's a different matter entirely.
Yeah, what's her
So
last
they
name?
share a name. A lot of other people do too. It doesn't mean anything. It was someone else. Of course it was. It has to be.
What does this mean?
Is something wrong, Junpei? Your breathing sounds strange.
Sorry.
Oh, no,
Insulting my
it's
breathing.
nothing. I'm fine. Let's get back down there, all right?
I couldn't do it. Why didn't I ask? What's her last name? I just couldn't get the words to come out.
I thought it was Santa's sister who died, but... if it's June... then again, Santa... was tied with June for this entire Nonary game. They had to be together in every room. What does it mean? What does it mean? Anyway, let's grab these books. Sheldrake, this is it. This is what the shadow picture was pointing to. But didn't it say 5 at the end of the shadow picture? Yes, I think we need to find the 5th volume. Well, would you look at that? There's a big red button behind this book. Did we really need the picture books to do this, though? Like, these are very prominent books in the library. Couldn't we just, like, tear these all apart and find the switch behind it? I guess we should press this button. Yeah, like, really? We had to do all that, but we could have just pulled these books aside. I don't know. In any case, we've solved the room. What was that sound? It sounded like something really big was moving. It came from the top floor. Alright, let's go check it out. Come on. Let's get out of here. Man, things are starting to get really interesting. What's this? 13, 14, 10, 13. Well, I bet you gotta type something on that keyboard. Yeah, but you can only enter letters. And it looks like you can only enter 4 letters. Let's see how it works. I guess you need to hit enter once you type in the letters. And you can erase what you typed with clear. Okay, I get the basic operations. Let's give it a shot. Maybe you have to add them all together. In which case it's 13, 26, 40, 50. Hint. Right. But 50 is just like L or something, isn't it? Just checking. So 13, 14, 10, 13. 13, 26, 30, 40, 50. Damn it. I just don't get this. What the hell is the point of these Roman... What is Snake doing? These Roman numerals. If you convert them to Arabic numerals, you'll have 13, 14, 10, and 13. True. But this keyboard only has letters. We can only enter 4 letters. Then why don't you just convert the numbers to letters? Convert the numbers to letters? Oh, God. Not hexadecimal again. Bet the letters you type in the keyboard will show up here. Okay, so I press the enter So I press enter after I type in the letters. If I screw up, I can delete what I type with clear. Alright, let's try this again. Okay. So... 13. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M. So... L. L, M, I, L. Nope. Damn it. Back. Ugh, why isn't this working? Hey Junpei, I was thinking, isn't this kind of like that other one? Other one what? Come on, you remember? The one in the captain's room? Yeah, I know. Hang on. 11 is B. 10 is A. Oh, whoops. Right. I was counting way ahead. So 13 is D. Uh-oh, this spells something I don't like. Dead. Yay! You did it, Junpei! It's unlocked now. Good job, Junpei. Whoa there, don't get too excited. The password was dead, remember? Just makes me think whatever's waiting for us isn't good. So what? Jeez, you're such an old lady. We can't be worrying about stuff like that. I mean, we deactivate our bracelets by touching a dead, so it can't be all that bad. I mean, come on. We got it unlocked, didn't we? Let's go, hurry up. Alright, let's get the hell out of this room.